Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? In today's video, I will tell you how you can learn Spanish in just 4 months to travel here to Argentina. Is there any way to do it? Is it even possible to do it? So in first place, I would like to share with you and tell you who am I? Who am I and why am I telling you this? Why can I tell you this? So I'm Nicolas Minio, teacher of Spanish from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm the author of the book Mini Stories to Learn Spanish and a podcast, Argento Podcast, a podcast in which you can learn Argentinian Spanish and learn Argentinian slang. I have helped over 15 travelers to Argentina to speak Spanish following exactly the same method. In this video, I'm gonna teach you. For example, Adam, chef. Here you have an example of Dolores, a woman from the United States. You can see this video and watch it and see her story about Mexico and Argentina and some other reviews and messages of my previous students. So now that you know who I am and why I am doing this, I'm gonna show you the method and the way to achieve this travel level in just 4 months. So as you can see in first place, I would like to tell you what the travel level is. So the travel level is basically a level that allows you to travel and survive in Argentina or to Argentina just with your Spanish. This should be your first goal if you want to learn Spanish because you come here to Argentina. So the first of all, you need to achieve this level. And now I will tell you how to do this. So in first place, you must have a routine. As for example, in this case, my preference or what I recommend to all of my students and all my students work with me with these schedules is just 3 to 5 hours per week. If you can do more, it's all right. The more hours you have for your Spanish, the better your Spanish will be. But I think the best option is just 3 to 5 3 hours per week to work on your Spanish. Just remember, always work on the same time on the same days. So in first place, you must know that Spanish has different stages or have different levels or has different skills inside of this Spanish. So we must focus just on 2 different things, and it is our understanding and our speaking and listening skills. As for example, in this case, you will work on your understanding, that means your vocabulary and the grammar, on Monday and Tuesday. In this is just an example. You can choose whatever else. And then on your speaking, on your listening skills, you should choose another 2 different days or just 1 day. In this case, Thursday and Friday. So the first step is to work on your understanding. So for example, on Monday and on Tuesday, what you will do is to work on these 3 different things that are part of this understanding, of developing this understanding. This is basically the basics, okay? The basics, the most basic things that you have to work on your Spanish first of all. So here we have 2 different things, okay? In first place is vocabulary. So for your vocabulary, what you will do to develop this vocabulary, to improve your vocabulary, to have a larger vocabulary, is to work with short content. As you are a beginner, you need to have short content. It can be, for example, mini stories, podcasts, mini videos, etc. In this case, I show you here my book, which is specifically designed for beginners, for people that want to work on their Spanish with very little content or short content, for beginners with mini stories. I love mini stories. I think it is the best option to work on your Spanish, the best option to work on any other language if you want to learn it. So basically, the key here to work on this short content is to watch it as many times as you need, to read it as many times as you need until you feel that you understand most of the text. That's the way I teach you to all of my students, and that's the way everyone learns following this method. And now, the second part is grammar, to work on grammar. So how can you work on this grammar? So you need just to have a books or watch videos about grammatical topics, about grammar basically. So the same here. In my book, we work on these 2 different things, on vocabulary and grammar. You first have mini stories that you can read as many times as you need, and then you have in every chapter, you have the grammatical topic or a grammatical explanation in a super simple way to understand. Now, the question is, what if you don't understand grammar? You must understand that grammar is very complex in Spanish. You should study a lot, all of these grammatical topics, all of this grammar, and you should practice a lot because there are too many different tenses in Spanish that you have to understand, and you have to understand the logic and work on them a lot. So what if you have a question? What if you do not understand? What can you do? Okay, this is an interesting question that we will work on this later. Now, continuing with the second step is that you have to learn vocabulary for traveling. Why? Because what you want to do is to travel to Argentina in 4 months and to learn Spanish for traveling to Argentina. So, in this case, you have to focus just on very specific vocabulary for traveling because that's all you need. You do not need to learn anything about politics in Spanish or anything about economy or whatever else. It doesn't really matter right now because you just need to know how to say towels, how to say brush teeth, and etc. So how to do this? Just find content about this topic. How can you find it? Just write it on YouTube, just write on Google somewhere and write vocabulary for traveling or stories about travels or something like this. In my book, you will find lots and lots of stories about traveling, so it will be super helpful for you because again, it's specifically designed for it, for people that want to travel and for beginners. Okay, so then the last step is to learn Argentinian slang. Why am I telling you this? So this is super necessary actually, even though you may think that it is not. But here in Argentina, nobody says normal words like neutral as a neutral Spanish. Everybody here says very specific words from our slang. As for example, laburo. Laburo, that means to work. So you will not hear a lot the word trabajar. Normally people would say laburar, okay? And then another one, for example, autobús. Nobody say autobús here. Nobody say bus. We say colectivo or bondi, which are part of our slang, but everyone say it, okay? It is not just formal or informal, no. It is just a normal word. The way to do this, to achieve this, or to learn this Argentinian slang is with, for example, with my podcast, Argento podcast, or you can watch movies, series, read books with Argentinian slang, but I don't think it is the best option because it is too hard for you right now because you're a beginner. So what I can recommend you is just to watch Argento podcast and watch it as many times as you need. But the only thing is that it may be a little harder for you. So anyways, you have to work on these 3 things if you would like to develop your general understanding of Spanish. If you would like to develop your vocabulary and develop your grammar, you have to work on these 3 different things, and I have just taught you how to do it. Now, here, the most important part for you, because you are a traveler, here we will encounter the most important part for you, which is to develop speaking and listening. So in this short example, you will work on these skills on Thursday and on Friday. So how to do this? So basically, you have to speak with Argentinian people because the only way to develop speaking is just doing speaking. The only way to improve your listening is just doing listenings. Now, the hard part here is that you're a beginner. You do not handle or you do not manage with your Spanish. You cannot get by with your Spanish. So it will be super, super hard for you. So you must find a safe area where you can speak with people very slowly with your Argentinian Spanish or just with Argentinian Spanish. But that's very hard to find because how can you find this safe area of Spanish? Okay, so here you have a good question again. The only way to find this safe area is if you have a friend who can speak very slowly or if you have a teacher. So let's continue. So once you've been working with this method for over 1 month or a little bit lesser or something like this, what you will see, you will start seeing your first results. And believe me, they will be super good. So just work on this for a period of time and then see the results and then come here and tell me, Nico, you're a scammer, you lied me and it doesn't work. I'm sure you will not because you will have results. You just have to be patient and work on your Spanish a lot. Okay, so now there is a problem. Yeah, there is a problem. What this problem is, the most important problem here or the biggest problem here is that you speak very little, which is exactly the most important thing for a traveler. So even though you will work on your Spanish a lot here with this method, you will just develop the understanding, the general understanding. So you will know a lot of words, but you will not be able to speak. And what do you need to do here in Argentina? Do you need just to be quiet? No. You have to speak with people, you have to go somewhere, you have to communicate, you have to survive, you have to ask for water, for food, and all of that stuff. So if you speak very little, you will not develop this ability, this skill. So this is the biggest problem of all of following this method. Why? Because you have to do this alone. You will do like a self-learning, but you will not be able to speak. What if you do not understand grammar? Spanish has very complex grammar. You will be stuck. You will not develop your Spanish fully. And then you will not find many opportunities to speak because you live in the United States and maybe you live in, I don't know, in Florida or California, but they are not Argentinians. They're mostly Mexicans or somewhere else. But even though that you have some people, you will not find as many opportunities as in Argentina. So you have to speak and find a way to speak with people, with real people. We're not just listening to podcasts or something like this. And another thing is that you will develop your general understanding, but people will realize that you do not speak Spanish because you haven't been practicing it, because you've been doing this method. And people, what people will do is that they will tend to speak English because they know you don't speak Spanish. So they will start speaking English and you will miss out the opportunity to speak. Okay, so please, if you find someone who is trying to do this, just tell you, no, please continue in Spanish and just do it slowly and say, repite por favor, repetilo por favor, repeat it please, okay? And the last thing is that there are too many steps that you have to follow on your own. You have to mostly do everything alone. So it is very hard because you have to have all of this routine and work on very many different things at the same time. And you have to find your own content, do your research, work on many different things at the same time. And I think it is too hard. So if you do that alone, it will actually take longer than you think. So if you would like to go much faster in an effective way and speak a lot, I have created a Spanish Mindset program, a program that in just 4 months you will reach the travel level. Yeah, so I would like to tell you more about this. A Spanish Mindset program is a program that specifically helps travelers to Argentina to speak Spanish just in 4 months, to achieve or to reach the traveler level, a level that allows you to survive and communicate and travel here in Argentina. So let me tell you more about this. So in first place, we will work on your speaking and listening, as it is the most important thing for a traveler, as I told you before. And if you follow the other method, you will just develop your general understanding, but not your speaking. So here we will work on your speaking mostly. 90% of our lessons consist just of speak with me. And of course, all of these lessons will be one-on-one with me. And then we'll work on your general understanding too, because we are speaking a lot and we will be reading a lot. And in this general understanding, we will do the same as this method. But the big difference here is that you don't have to do any research, that you don't have to be stuck to learn anything about grammar. Because in my method, in my program, I will teach you all of this. And if you have questions, if you have problems with something very specific in Spanish, here I am and I can help you with this. And that's why my program is specifically developed to help this kind of people with these specific problems. Okay, so here in this program, we will work with a very specific vocabulary for traveling, as you need to reach the travel level. So we will work a lot with this type of vocabulary. And then, of course, Argentinian Spanish, because we do not have the same pronunciation, we do not have the same grammar, we do not have the same words. So how can you know all of these things if you don't do it with someone who can help you? Okay, so that's why I have created this after working with lots of people for over 2 years, and here I have created this beautiful program, this super useful program. So what do you need to start working on this? You just need 3 hours per week for 4 months, with a total of 50 lessons to work on your Spanish and develop the traveler level. So in this program, I have flexible schedules. So if you are someone who is busy, if you are someone who travels a lot around Argentina or somewhere in the United States, you can tell me, hey, Nico, I need to reschedule this. I need to do something else. So can we have this lesson maybe within a week or something like this? So don't worry, my schedules are super flexible whenever you want, as many times as you need it. And after these 4 months, what will you achieve? So you will be able to communicate with people here in Buenos Aires, here in Patagonia, in Córdoba, in Argentina, to travel and survive in Argentina just with your Spanish. So, mi amigo, mi estudiante allá, over there, if you would like to start changing your life, coming here to Argentina, develop the travel level and travel to Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Chile, wherever in Latam or specifically in Argentina, you have the best option to do it. Here you have the best option to do it and start changing your life. So if you would like to start right now, you have my email here in the description or here in the video. You will have my webpage on the description and you can write me over there. So I hope I have helped showing you this method. I hope you start right now working your Spanish with this method. And if you have results and if you would like to go faster, do things in a more effective way, you can contact me and tell me and I will help you. So thank you very much for watching this video and I hope to see you soon. Nos vemos.